I'm going to make comparisons, guys. That's what
you're not going to record my way and not get comparisons. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure Erik is expecting it.
Hi, guys. This is Play It Again. I am Ginger.
And I am Mike.
And so we were poised to do the new Erik Grönwall song that's out.
Yep.
Well, recent, I guess, in the last month. But, guys, I went on his page and I found something that I liked even more. So, not everybody on this channel will know, but most of you will, that I am a gigantic Frank Sinatra fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, absolutely adore Frank. Probably one of my all-time favorites, right? So when I saw that he did a cover of My Way, I was like, nope, that's the one we're doing today.
All right.
I also spied Black Velvet, guys. So it was a hard call, but Frank will beat everybody every single time.
So it sounds like we're going to have to come back again soon for more.
It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. But right now we're getting to Frank.
All right. Let's Frank it up.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no,
Wow. Okay, that had a sufficient amount of power.
For real.
There's not sound there, is there? Nope. Hit pause on it just in case.
I could always cut it later too.
Okay, wow. Anyway, so that was in many ways exactly the same and in many ways quite a bit different, right? So I'm going to make comparisons, guys. That's what
Well, you're
happens with
not
covers.
going to record my way and not get comparisons. I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm
so
sure Erik is expecting it.
So Frank's version, or at least one of the many that I've heard, because he's done it a billion times, right? He always had this sort of, it was mostly contemplative and sort of a dismissive nod to fate, right? This sort of kind of, but Erik sounded very much like a big middle finger to it, which, I mean, since he's a metal singer, that fits,
Really
right?
does.
So it totally changes the tenor of the song. It makes it almost like you thought you could beat me, but you couldn't, right? Whereas Frank's is sort of like, It's a very Italian way to be, of course. Right?
Que sera, sera.
So it really
Although
did
that's French.
change the tenor of the song, even though it was like a super, super faithful cover, right? Like to such that I was singing along. Almost
You know
exactly.
what? You know what? This version made me think that I never have. I mean, I've known that song forever,
Yes, and
Right.
you've heard it a bazillion times.
but it made me think there's not enough men doing things their own way anymore.
It's true.
Everything's homogenized. Everybody's in a box. Everybody's doing what they're
Yeah.
told to do. And, you know, Frank always made me think, you know, he is what he is. He did it his way. And that's how a man should be. But Erik's really made me feel the lack of men like that anymore.
It's true. It's true because there's not enough people. A lot of people say it. They want to be an individual. They want to be unique. They want to be.
And then they all get the same tattoos and piercings.
But then, yeah, they all kind of. You're right. Homogeny is a good word for that. It's there's a lot of that out there, and it almost seems like. Because when we were young, being radical really was radical, right? But now radical is sort of normal, and the radicals are us. Which are, it's kind of sad actually. We're not that.
Well, Johnny Lydon said it well, right? You know him? He was Johnny Rotten in the
Yeah.
Sex Pistols. When he was young, it was the liberals that were the counterculture, and the conservatives were all repressive. And he's like, I've lived long enough that now it's the left wing are all the scolds and the nannies, and the conservatives are the rebel.
Well, I mean, not even being political, just kind of things that used to be counterculture are now kind of very mainstream, right? Like having a whole sleeve of tattoos is very mainstream, whereas like when we were younger, you couldn't even get a job with that.
Yeah.
Right? And like piercings in your face. And so all of the counterculture stuff that well, not so much you, but me, I had tons of friends in that crowd, right? Like I was in the goth crowd. So, but they were all the people that people looked sideways at on the street, right? Like, oh, you're going to watch out for that gal. And now it's just totally normal. So it's a little bit weird the way things change.
Yep.
I wonder what they're going to go to next,
I don't know.
right? Like I'm starting to see the rise of the trad culture. So every woman is putting bows in her hair now. And
I'm a ton of neo-Puritanism.
yeah,
out
I
there
don't know
on
if
the
that's
internet.
better, to be honest. I kind of like
But the
just
thing is-
everybody's an individual thing.
As it relates to this and what I was saying, though, is they all do it together in lockstep, right?
Yeah.
The people just don't step out enough anymore and
It's
do
true.
it their way.
It's true. So it makes me appreciate more, actually, when I come across people that are like that. So anyway, back to the song. That was very good. I mean, it always is with him. He has a great voice, right? And a good sense for theme, I think.
How did you feel about him singing it, given that his range is a much higher area than Frank Sinatra's?
Well, I think that's where it ties into my feeling about the like Frank is always very casual and smooth and like very low key. Even when he goes up, like when the song ramps up, right? Even when Frank ramps up, it's still very low key and smooth. Whereas Erik's, I don't want to say it gets harsh or shrill because that's not what I mean, but it becomes more kind of poignant. I don't know. That's probably not a good word, but anyway, the point is that's where the feel is, where his feels more like a edgier, right? Because his voice is higher.
Yeah,
I think it lends to that.
So his feels like a middle finger to
That's
death.
what I said. Yeah.
And Frank's feels more like a dismissive wave.
Well, that's.
Even when he ramps it up, like, I've had enough of your
I know
crap.
that's exactly what I said right at the beginning, right?
It's
that's
true,
the
though.
feeling that I got. So I think his the difference in his voice is one of the key reasons that it lends that feel, which is probably it's a good. To me, it seems like because of his voice, because of where his range is, it was a good choice to make it sort of metally because it fit. If he tried to sing it with Frank's casual tone, I think that would have just been terrible, right? So I think it was a good choice. It did change the tenor of the song, but it was good for him and right for his voice, for sure.
Yep.
So, anyway, that was a lot of talking. I'm getting a hoarse throat now. It's a good thing I'm not trying to sing it.
That's right.
Although later on I'll put it on and I will.
She will, for
Because
sure.
I always do. Anyway, so I don't know about you guys, but I will play it again.